Alright, this is Team Smash for our final video blog, and today we'll be talking about our postmortems. This here right here is Robert Gordon. He joined our group late, but he's been a great addition to the group. Alright, so let's start with Omar, go ahead.
Yeah, okay, so we're going to be talking about the postmortem, like Ken said. First thing we're going to talk about is what went right, and then also what went wrong. Anybody have anything to say?
For what went right was that the game was able to run. that was a big one. That it was able to build. Like, we were worried that we wouldn't even get it all together. I think the major issue that what went wrong was just the processing speed. That when the game was running, you could tell that it wasn't really running too fast. But we ended up changing that into a design concept where, you know, pretty much the dentist was kind of hurt, so he wasn't that mobile. So
that's good. Yeah. Another one that we had a little discussion about was just the modeling. Meaning airstream. We didn't know when we put it in, things would be reversed. Some colors would go in, some would be invisible. Remember that?
Yeah, we didn't know how many polygons the object we had, we should make, see if it would run or slow it down.
Yeah.
But one of the things that I want to add that did go really well was the sound. It was, we hit the right key for it. We had a nice walking noise. It was creepy. We had the background music had a sense of fear, and yeah.
Background music was pretty nice.
I guess another aspect that kind of went wrong was the networking. We had a bit of a problem trying to make Racknet work with Wild Magic. We did in the end come up with some components, but that was another hurdle we had to overcome.
Cool. The next thing we're going to talk about is what we need to do to make it a better game. Just going on.
Alright, well, the biggest thing we could definitely improve on, I believe, is, again, the speed of our game, the processing of our game. I believe, as the main program, I believe the reason why it wasn't working too well is because we had too many meshes happening, too many meshes at one time. And one of the other groups that presented demonstrated a game where they seemed to have a lot of meshes, and what we should have done for future note is to communicate with those groups, see how they were able to run the game so smoothly when so many meshes were being shown at one time.
Another thing is just our game, our actual game. We should add more levels into it. I know we had our vision, and we just didn't make it to that vision. We only have a level right now, just kind of walking around for the exploration, which is good. And then when we add on to it, when we try to make it better, we should make the rest of the levels and the final boss at the end, which would be outside.
Our vision was too big for the amount of time we had.
That's what it was. And that's pretty much it. Does anyone else have any thoughts?
Well, I guess, yeah, like Air said, our vision was too big. What I think a major thing we could improve on is just the overall smoothness of the game. So make things seamless, rather than, we definitely should have some of our major mechanics really on point next time rather than a little buggy.
Make the code more efficient.
Yeah, definitely make some more efficient code, faster processing speeds. And yeah, try to improve our time management and allocation to make sure that we are able to create the levels that we hoped to make within our time frame. And
as Ken was saying, just allocate time for the game, even though we all have really busy schedules with what's going on with school, work, all that other kind of stuff. We just have to kind of make time, which is hard. We found out, but we'd have to do it for next time. The next one would be the 5 Ws. Anybody want to start?
Okay, yeah, so for me, for the 5 Ws, again, I'm Kenneth Lowe. For the most part, I was in charge of the programming. I also had an input on some of the models, as I needed to program them, make sure they were to scale and everything. How I did everything, I tried to use as much lab time as possible with the TA Chris. I asked him for a lot of help. I did my best to try to figure out some issues that I was having. I was able to get some issues working, which is a good thing. Yeah, I think that's 5 Ws for me.
Dan, you wanna go next? So who you are? Let's say who you are.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Yeah, so my name is Daniel Moore. And pretty much my part was just really was to work along more so with Erish Deep with the sound design. Did a little bit of level designing and working on some of the models that were going to be props for certain areas. And I was also trying to help do some of the game design with how the gameplay was going to work.
My name is Erish Deep, and I was basically in charge about to do sound for the game and create some of the models and help Omar with the level, and basically place stuff around the level to make it seem like an actual horror or fear like type game.
My name is Ali. I was, I guess you could say, a secondary kind of complementary programmer. My job was just bits and pieces of every aspect of the game in terms of programming and networking. Yeah, I just
When?
yeah, when always, all the time.
Where? Oh, here.
Where here,
That's
class,
good.
tutorials, try to get as much resources as possible, ask the teachers for help. Just try to chip in whenever, do a lot of debugging, research, you know, just try to fill in when needed, and had a good deal to do with the networking. That was an important part of our game. And yeah, that's pretty much what I have to take care of.
Alright, so I'm Omar. What I did was strictly modeling and looked at like some basic code, nothing really crazy. When I did it all the time, especially closer to the due dates of when we need to show things, that was pretty crazy. Where? At the school, obviously tutorials, at home. When I needed help, my group was there. Like, Air helped me a lot with modeling, and I had to collaborate with Ken just to know like the sizes of things to go into the game and how it's supposed to look, things like that. And why I did it was just because I feel like I'm a good modeler, like not the best, not the worst kind of thing, and I feel like I did an alright job to be put into a game. Robert, you want to say a little bit?
So I am Robert. I was mostly discussing game design concepts with the group, and I also worked on making the paper prototype for the game.
This semester?
Ever since I joined the group this semester,
Where in school and stuff?
mostly online with some meetings.
And why?
Why? Because
you can't.
I'm the best at paper prototypes.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, the Warlock of paper prototypes.
Yes. Remember that from your demo, right? Anyway, okay, so now we just have to justify our game ideas, concepts, why we did what we did, things like that.
Well, sorry, I guess I'll start. I guess the reason why we decided to do this game we did in the first place is because we wanted to all do something unique, and because this year for GW we didn't have any restraints, it was pretty much free and open to choose whatever type of game you'd like to do. Our major inspiration came from movies and games that really